This is Johnny Bergen, and I'm from the Chicago Blues Camp on the faculty, here to talk about one of the greatest blues songs of all time, That's All Right by Jimmie Rodgers. I got the good fortune to see him play in person several times, and he was a wonderful singer and guitar player, and he also played the second guitar in lots of the greatest Muddy Waters songs. So this was this hit that put him on the map. And we're going to talk about the ins and outs of this. I'm going to focus on the introduction, because if you can play this, you can play the whole song. Everything that's in the song is kind of laid out in the introduction. So it's a 12-bar blues in E, but it has an intro that starts with right here. Now notice I'm using my fingers. You can use your fingers or a thumb pick and finger picks, which also has an awesome sound for the Freddie King sound or a traditional post-war sound. But I think it just sounds way better with either a finger or finger picks than with a pick. It just sounds kind of hollow with a pick. I mean, it sounds better to have like a counterpoint, so you've got the bottom. I'm going to explain what that is. This is, if you remember your A minor shape from back when you were first learning guitar, maybe, this would be like probably one of maybe the second or third chord you ever learned, probably. This is like an A minor shape that's all the way up here. That turns it into an E minor. So if you were barring with your first finger on the 7th fret, and then you have this A minor shape, and you have an E minor. And now let's just picture that chord in your head, but you don't play the whole thing. You're going to just take the first two fingers and give your second finger a tug a little bit on the B string. So your first finger's on the 7th fret of the E string, that's a B note. Second finger's on the 8th fret of the B string, that's a G note. And that's the top part of your E minor chord. And then you're going to kind of pick this like this. So you have a bottom going with the low E string. Notice how I'm pushing this note just a little bit to give it some crying quality. It doesn't really sound the same without pushing it. That sounds like classical music or something, man. That's not the flavor. And then it goes to the B. We're going to do it like this. So this is like if you remember your long A chord from your early guitar days, like this, we're just going to move that up 2 frets. So your first finger is on the 4th fret, barring. Your pinky is on the 7th fret of the E string. And then use your second finger on the 5th fret of the E string. So here's what you got so far. So that's like a big pivot. All of a sudden we've gone to the B7th chord. And now we're on the A. And then he does, this is the lick that you hear from Eric Clapton in Key to the Highway, and you hear Robert Lockwood playing it all the time, and it sounds like Got to Find My Baby. That's over the A. And you slide in with your second finger on the 6th fret, and then the first finger on the 5th fret. So this is the middle of an A chord. Make sense? It's like the guts of the A chord. And then your third finger is set up perfectly for the 7th fret of the E string. Your second finger is set up on the 2nd fret, and your first finger. So it's like your fingers are already in place before you even have to move them. So you don't do much movement, but you say a lot. So I'll do that again slowly. Notice I'm just banging away on the low A string, because these were guys who played acoustic guitars with finger picks, and all of a sudden they got these brand new electric guitars, and they had tiny little amps the size of a shoebox, and they had to counterpoint themselves, and that was the way they played loud enough. So And then your pinky goes out to the 8th fret, 7th fret on the B string. So I'll do that again real slow. I'm going to do it again. And then here's the cool part. You take your 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the B string, slide it up 2 frets to the 9th. Then your 1st finger's in place on the 7th fret of the E string, and your 3rd finger's on the 9th fret. Open E string. So here's what we did, all told. In fact, when you can just put your make like an E7th chord, and then you just have a turnaround, which is that D7th shape up on the 4th and 3rd fret. I'm going to do that again in case you didn't catch it the first time. I'm keeping my second and 3rd finger down and kind of lifting my 3rd finger on and then off the E string, which is nice. This is kind of like a B7th chord. So that's the intro of That's All Right by Jimmie Rodgers, and hope you enjoyed it. Please message me if you have any questions. Thanks a lot.